Maybe the reason the Black and African community cannot break generational poverty is because our parents expected wealth to flow upwards and not down. They played Russian roulette with all their kids' futures, hoping one of us will be their lucky payday. Instead of getting off their asses and building anything of value for themselves, they built houses back home that they're never going to live in and finance the lives of every single person but their own families. Years of doing the bare minimum, then turning around and expecting luxury, praise, and financial rescue like the struggle wasn't their own to change at their big old age with scarcity mindsets and beggar mentality, and somehow still convince themselves that sacrifice is only for the children. Passed down nothing but guilt and trauma, but we are going to be the last generation that tolerates this. It ends with us. Oh my God, who said that?
Yo, I know life ain't perfect, but why do Black parents make it seem like you was raised just to go here and make money for them? And they don't even be giving you the platform. It's like, you gotta find out how to do this shit on your own, and once you do, come back to us and just start spoiling us. Because what we did, we gave you shelter and gave you food. But the thing is, though, it's like, it's more to it than that, bro. You ain't give no tutorial, no platform, not even a guidance. And you expect help. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm tripping for that, but it's just like, how you supposed to help somebody if you're not even helping them?
People are making some videos about African immigrant parents moving to like anywhere to most of this Western nation. They take care of their kids, but like they don't put in so much. Like a lot of stuff that their kids could have enjoyed, they're literally sending it back home. This whole thing stems from the whole topic about sending money back home, where we have a lot of Africans who work so hard. It's even actually something that happens to a lot of people, like a lot of immigrants. It's not specifically to Africans, where they work so hard and then all their money they be sending it back home to their family back home that might be ungrateful and not even appreciate all the stuff that they are doing. I actually thought the conversation was very interesting because it's like, the wealth is actually going up instead of down. And I thought, like, that's very interesting because this wealth be going up. Like, parents who are not setting up your future, they're not setting up things for your future so you can actually live a very good life, like leave you something, a legacy, something that's going to be so good. Instead, what they're leaving you with is to continue passing down, that generation of just sending money outside somewhere else, or your parents spent up so much money sending to others, taking care of others, and then now they grow older and you need to take care of them. Your children are expected to actually take care of you too when you grow older. And like a lot of stuff where the money that they be sending back home, like when I heard some of the conversation, I'm like, the money that they be sending so much back home, that money could actually be saved up for them to take care of themselves when they get older, so that you as a child will not have to take care of them. And you would focus on yourself and also focus on maybe doing something to build up for your own children when you give birth to children and have kids. Like, that could also be passed down. Like, you take care of your own kids too. Your kids are not expected to take care of you because you've already set up a good foundation. We're going to be checking out these videos, but before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Let's get right into this video.
Let's talk about financial resentment and African parents. This conversation is going to be for people who are first gen, second gen with immigrant parents, specifically African parents. I'm West African. My family is from Senegal. And something that is so common in the community is that you'll have a child who moves to a first world country, a developed country for a better life, and starts a family there. They start a family there, they start getting a little bit of money, and they're sending money back home to support their relatives, to support their parents, to support really their entire extended family. Because when you're able to get to the quote-unquote developed country, whether it's like the United States or France or Canada, you are viewed as the person that you basically need to put everybody else on. And this is a real barrier when it comes to attaining financial freedom for yourself, because you don't just have yourself and your own life to support. You also need to be supporting your entire family, extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles from back home. This keeps people, Africans who are living, in the imperial core, from building wealth on their own because they're paying all these remittances. And when I say financial resentment, in first-gen families, what I'm talking about is this feeling of frustration that the children of these people experience because all the money is being sent back. I mean, we all know the story of they're building a house, the money is going and going. The money is basically going into a hole. The house is never seen, but they're building a house. And meanwhile, the children of these people, so that's the first generation of people who are born in the United States, are not seeing the funds. those children sometimes are taking out loans to be able to go to college. Certainly their parents aren't paying for, their apartment when they graduate or helping with different costs like that. White people, on the other hand, often have the luxury of being able to plan for their own family's financial freedom. Like, I'll never forget when my friend was telling me that her grandpa was giving her money, from time to time. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's insane. Like, for a lot of people, their grandparents, their parents are their source of financial support. They're not financially supporting them. You know what I'm saying? But in a lot of African communities, that is not the case at all. A lot of African parents view their children as the retirement fund because that's exactly what they did for their parents. But the problem is that the cycle is just perpetuating poverty because nobody can build wealth for the future generation and for their own children. And that's what breeds the resentment. Because is it true that the children are better off in the United States or in Canada or in France more so than their relatives that are back home? Oftentimes, yes, it is true. Things like having your parent help you on a down payment, on a house, give you $10,000, or having your parent help you to pay for your wedding. Even like these stories about, Jeff Bezos's parents gave him, $50,000 to start a business. These kinds of things that is creating wealth within the family. That money is going back home. So it's difficult for first generation African children because they basically need to start from scratch. Like they need to build everything, for themselves and bring all their family up with them.
Let me tell you something funny about Nigerian parents and African parents. They will never invest in their children. You know what they will invest in? Every other person than their kids. They don't believe in passing wealth down. They think that wealth is supposed to flow up. And that is why Africa is a poor country and is a poor continent. I beg your pardon. When you come to European countries, you see young boys driving GLE. Most of them are on their parents' mortgage, are on their parents' bank credit, are on their parents' this and that. But in Nigeria, there is nothing like that. And in Africa, there is nothing like that. In fact, they give birth to children and hope that you guys are good and you should come and give them back. Number 3, they will invest in cousins, brothers, neighbors, nephews, all those people that do not have a return value. If you are giving your cousin, your brother, those people, you are helping them. But in Nigerian parents' mind, they think that when they help their brothers and their brothers' children will bring it back. They won't bring it back. In most cases, those children even don't turn up to be something important that can bring anything back. Number 3, that church. You see that church? That sadaka they do in church, you cannot beat Nigerian parents with it. You guys will be hungry at home. They will pay tithe. They will sow seed. They will carry fridge and go to church. They will carry torchlight and go to church. They will carry generator and go to church. Make una buy for house. Church must collect. The next one. A Nigerian parent's richness does not mean that the richness will transcend to their children. Are you getting me? A Nigerian father can be rich, but his children is suffering, and the father will have the audacity to tell the children that they should go and hustle for their money, that when he hustle for his own money. A Nigerian parent don't even know about will. You understand? He does not have a lawyer. He does not have a will. He does not know that he's supposed to will stuff to his children. And so when they eventually die through sickness or sudden death, you will now see fighting of property. Who's supposed to collect? Who knows supposed to collect? Nigerian parent will look you dead in the eye and tell you to go and hustle your money. You will graduate from school. Most of Nigerian parents are even working in the government. You will be graduating from school instead of your parents to carry your certificate and go and kneel down in front of their boss, kneel down in front of their oga to say, my son just graduated or my daughter just graduated or where una fit put up. Nigerian parents will not do it. They will tell you to go and hustle, to go and look for work. In fact, they will start using your poverty to insult you. This is coming from people who got their things from the platter of gold. Nigerian parents literally got jobs offered to them in their mailboxes and in their houses. They did not have to go out and look for jobs the way we are looking for jobs. Even with secondary school SATs, they got jobs that we cannot get right now. Nigerian parents will look at you dead in the eye and tell you that your business or your loan or your debt is not their concern. You should go and do it by yourself. And so when I look at the way wealth is transferred in the settings of an African home, I just know that I'm going to break the generational curse. Wealth is supposed to flow down, not flow up. But Nigerians gamble with their kids and hope that one person will turn out well and come and bless them, which is like a really, really wrong way to look at life.
Houses back home that they're never going to live in and finance the lives of every single person but their own families. Years of doing the bare minimum, then turning around and expecting luxury, praise, and You guys that are insulting this girl in her comments, are you guys okay in the head? Because she never said she was ungrateful that her parents brought her here or gave birth to her here, whatever her case may be. What she's pointing out is this disease that has overtaken our parents, our African parents that came here to sacrifice so much. Because nobody's refuting the fact that they sacrificed so much. Oh, we know. We live with them. We're the ones who watch them go to work day in, day out, break their back at the detriment of their health, sacrifice so much. But the painful part is that the money is not coming to the kids. It's not really coming to us. It is going towards the people back home. It is going towards houses back home. It is going towards sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews, school fees, one thing or the other. But yet the responsibility now falls on us when we get older, because after they have retired, they barely have anything to show for it because they sacrifice so much, thinking about everybody except their family. So you guys are upset that she pointed out this dysfunction. The whole goal for our generation is to cut that shit out, to make sure that when we get older, we don't have to depend on our children. We don't have to be a financial burden to our children. That is the whole point of what she's saying. But you guys want to be tone deaf because you guys are so sensitive when it comes to African parents. You guys need to learn to shut the F. If you are not in the situation, please be quiet, because that girl knows everything she is talking about.
Let me just say this once. I am not following my parents' footsteps. I'm not going to spend my life working 12-hour shifts in America just to be sending almost half my paycheck back to family in Africa, all because you think I owe you because we share the same blood. It is high time we start talking about how manipulated it is that most of these African families solely depend on their families that live abroad to literally do everything for them, even to wipe their yash. As a Nigerian American, I have watched my parents from a young age literally raise grown-ass adults and their kids, and now their grandkids. As a Nigerian American, I have watched my parents literally raise their entire family, and sometimes not even family members, from grown-ass adults to their kids, and now even grandkids, bruh. Putting their children through school, all its levels, from elementary to university. Some of them now NYSC. You asking money for little thing, bro. Like, assuming you didn't have family abroad, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Last year, CNN recorded that Nigerian Americans alone sent $20 billion in money transferring apps to Nigeria alone. Do you know how ridiculous that is? And no, I am not talking about people that send money back home to start businesses or to build houses or all that stuff. No, I am strictly talking about our mothers, fathers, aunts, and uncles that have literally decided to use their life as a sacrificial lamb for their family back in Africa, using half of their money to go back home. Meanwhile, over here, they're living probably paycheck to paycheck, or probably don't even have a life because they're busy working like 12, 16-hour shifts. Because we know majority of the Nigerian women's society is nurses. So they're always working double back to back. Like, that is not a life. Miss me with that bullshit. I am not continuing that. It's just not feasible. Like, it is so detrimental to somebody's mental health that I do not see the need of doing that, especially for people that are not even appreciative, and it's never enough for them. Nothing's ever enough. You can literally start a whole supermarket for these people. They still won't come back asking for more. It's never enough. They always asking because all they know is that you got it better than them. They don't give a fuck about you. Most of them don't even like you. But you can chop my money. Fuck no. No, I'm not doing it.
I've literally seen some African parents that be popping them babies. They have kids like so much. you have so many amounts of kids. And then I was asking, like, why are you popping them babies like that? Like, why are you having so many children? And you know what? I got told, like, this woman told me that the reason why she's having so many kids, and it's not just her, the belief actually is something that she and her husband, and not just her, like, there are a lot of people who have those thoughts. Like, the reason why they're having so many kids is because, like, just in case, like, any one of them or most of them, some of them actually, you know, pass away, at least they still have some that are left alive. And the more the numbers of the kids that they have, the better for them, because there are chances that at least some of them could be successful, or even one of them could be successful and lift them out of poverty. Meanwhile, the parents are doing nothing but just keep popping up more babies and not even trying to be rich. They've just given up and don't believe that they could do anything to financially be better. So they literally expect the ones that they're birthing, and they're actually young. Like, these parents are young parents, like they're not old. It's not time for them to give up yet, but they actually, they're active with giving birth. Like, so they give birth and say, yeah, you know what, one of them could be successful, some of them could be successful and lift us out of poverty, and they will take care of all of us. They're going to take care of the siblings, they're going to take care of the parents, and that's what they're supposed to do, and that's the reason why they're giving birth to. There have been a lot of immigrants who send their money back home to get homes built for them and a lot of other things, and at the end of the day, their family back home or whoever they trust with their money actually end up not doing what they asked them to do. Like, okay, build a house for me, start up a business for me, and then they end up squandering the money, spending it to do different type of things for their own self, or even build a house for their self and not for the person who sent them the money. And that has happened multiple times. Or if you're lucky enough and they build the house for you, they wouldn't just build it on reasonable money where they even spend so much more than the house is actually worth. They be collecting more and more and more and more and always saying, oh, something needs to be repaired, and then you're funding their lifestyle, and then they'll be living way better than you because you are the scapegoat. Like, you're literally just the one who's just going to keep working and working and working hard for them, while the very lavish, sweet lifestyle. Now, the whole thing is, even your immediate family can still hurt you. Like, put yourself first. And sometimes, like, honestly, home is where we make it. Like, to be honest, like, the whole thing about, oh, you wanting to go back or stuff like that, going back might not feel the same again, because mostly when we leave places, going back, the relationship that you used to have, that one that you're still delusional about and have in your head, it's not gonna be the same. Like, most times, this is something that is the truth. Like, we ain't gotta be like, oh, this person's own is different. It's so few. Like, a lot of people, the relationship will not be the same, and that's just the reality of it. Like, I have personally seen relationships with people that I used to have has changed drastically, like, so bad. And mostly it even happens with just moving from state to state, not to talk of just leaving the entire country. Like, leaving, going to another different state, leaving your hometown. People that you know and grow up with will be different. Things will be different. It ain't gonna be the same. You ain't gonna go back and expect to have that same thing that you had before. And that's okay. Like, absolutely okay. Home is where you make it. Like, honestly, where a lot of these African parents that have invested in building so much in other places, I feel like the first place you should be trying to build is where you are, where you live, where your family is, your immediate family, those family that you've created, your children. You should be building a home for them first. Build a home where they are, because that's where you're staying, that's where you're living first, before you start taking your money to branch out and do something else somewhere else. Because if you're going to build a house in a village and it's like nobody, possibly you wouldn't even move there. Maybe you've overworked yourself and you won't even ever move there to even enjoy the fruit of your labor. So why not just start where you are and create comfort where you are first? Create every resources possible to take care of your own children. That's the first thing you need to be doing. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.